Hello, everyone, and welcome to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, show made for the fans by a fan. I am your host, as always, Richard Tiemann. This is a Mark Morris Comedy Monday, and might I add, it is with the launching of the fan show divisions. This will be the first exclusive piece under the new pop culture and entertainment division. So, thank you.
Wow, I feel so impotent. That's fantastic. It's good to see you, Richard.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. It's been a while, but looked very busy, and tonight is a special night, which you're going to tell us all about.
Yeah, it is. And first of all, I want to say the whole Mark Morris Comedy Monday thing, I'm going to have to charge you for the copyright on that. No, you know what? Mark Morris Comedy is bringing another show to the Buzz, but this month, instead of our regular four-person showcase, I've got the pleasure of bringing feature Folger Emerson, who is a fantastic local comedian, and nationally touring headliner Andrew Rivers, who I think one of his last dry bar comedy videos on YouTube has over 5 million hits.
Wow.
So it's really exciting.
So safe to say you are bringing out the big guns for this month. Now, is this something that you had planned on doing at some point, or it kind of just happenstance on a whim sort of scenario?
Well, you know, things happen. I had a room pull out, and we just reorganized, juggled some things, and switched this show up so that we could bring Andrew out, he's just a fantastic, hilarious headliner, and I'd have hated to lose him. It was 3 shows directly before this. Now it's 4 shows starting in September, Thursday through Sunday. And I've got nationally touring headliners lined up into March each month for these shows.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of not wanting to lose really funny people.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to lose really funny people. And all you've had is really funny people. We've got some of your biggest hitters here tonight, Folger Emerson, and then, of course, Philip Kopczynski, who's going to be doing a piece for you this evening.
Absolutely. We've got the hilarious Philip Kopczynski doing a guest spot because he's working on new stuff. Folger Emerson is one of my favorite, just all-around solid feature acts in the area. Like I said, Andrew is just amazing. He's been killing it for me all weekend. But we're bringing amazing people out here every month. In September, I've got local favorites Steve Johnson, former winner here at the Buzz, Josh Tieford, nationally touring headliner Monica Nevi, who's a co-host of the Hug Life podcast, and local comedy legend Jay Wendell Walker. He's been doing comedy almost as long as I've been alive.
Well then, that's certainly a good tenure to have.
Yeah, I mean, we are really bringing some amazing people out here, and I just get to be lucky enough to be one of the people that does that. So
now, as far as the future with a featured headliner like this instead of a showcase, is this something that maybe you do like an every other month thing if this one goes well?
Well, that all depends on the owners here at the Buzz. If they want to adjust that kind of a show, I can absolutely accommodate that. That's basically what I do. They let me know what they want, and I put the show together so that it suits their needs. I think the plan right now is to keep it as a comedy showcase.
Yeah, I do like the variety that you get with that, and maybe so you have open mic, you do like 3 minutes worth of material, then you have a headliner that's got to do what, like 30 minutes of material sometimes.
We're mixing apples and oranges. Generally, what happens is like at a big club, an open mic is 3 minutes for everybody.
Yeah,
and that's where we do the work of comedy.
Yeah,
when we workshop new material, polish older material. Then you go to showcase shows, and that's every comedian does anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes on a limited number of comedians, and those are those people working on the feature act. Because when you get to regular club-style shows, it's what we're doing tonight. You get a host that does 7 to 10 minutes up front, a feature that does 20 to 25, and a headliner that does 45 minutes to an hour. So the nice thing about the showcase here at the Buzz is it gives a lot of budding local talent that opportunity to really work on those feature sets and get to the next level.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I was trying to, long way around, was that your showcase is that nice in-between for the up-and-comers, local or otherwise. So I think what you've been doing has been great for the local talent especially, and I've gotten to know some of these guys personally. I think they're hilarious. I think they're all great guys and girls. But, it's you take the opportunities where you can get them, and you are a man giving the opportunities, and I'm sure they appreciate it. So
I'm just a really, really lucky guy. I mean, this is how lucky I am. Last night, I got to be one of 14 comics on the eastern part of the country, of the state, that got to audition for the Seattle International Comedy Competition.
Oh, wow.
I'm not getting in, but I got to audition, and when there's only 14 spots, just being invited, it's the old I was just honored to be nominated kind of a thing. Other than that, if you don't mind me doing a commercial for myself.
Yes, by all means, please do.
Please check me out at markmorriscomedy.com. Click on the social media links, like, follow, share. I've got amazingly talented comedians coming out for shows all over the area every month. And the only thing missing is your listeners.
Yep. So. And we're working on that now. So this is the first venture of the Pop Culture Entertainment Division for the Fan Show. We are here at Buzz Pizzeria with Mark Morris, who is the first lamb up for slaughter.
We're going to go ahead and bring Folger Emerson up first because he's closest.
Yeah, there we go.
And I'll turn it on over to him. Thanks, Richard.
Yeah. Hey, man, good to see you.
You too, man. Oh, God, I can never sit. All right, we're good. I got a raspy voice because of all the smoke in my lungs from smoking so much.
Yeah, it got up to, I think, $3.99
That means
night,
nothing to me.
And that's like $500 is like it'll kill you if you so much as
I don't think
inhale.
I think if this is $3.90 and I feel fine, I feel like I can make $600 at least. I want, put me in the wind tunnel. I'm ready to do some human experimentation in a non-sexual way this time.
What blows me away, though, are the people that will step outside to smoke when it's like, all you got to do is step outside and just inhale. That's it. There you go. You can cut out the middleman. You don't have to light up or anything.
I don't know. I'd rather not, inhale the souls of trees. I want plants. We want tobacco plants. Trees. I just feel guilty about it. That's a tree.
Fair enough.
We need to keep these trees from being logged so that they can provide us with this deadly air every fall.
Well, tonight is a special night, obviously, for you, and then me here. I launched the Fan Show Divisions. This is going to be the first exclusive piece under the Pop Culture and Entertainment Division.
Nice.
So you don't have to worry about if we talk about sports at all. Tonight we're talking about comedy and entertainment, and you are the, what's the term for the person just before the headliner?
The feature.
The feature. You are the feature tonight. It is not a showcase. This is where you are pretty much the opening act to, if you go to a concert, there's the headlining band, and then there's the opener, so you're right there. You're
right
in the middle of the poster.
I'm almost as good as a cover band, almost, pretty much. I'm like the Aeromyth of comedy.
The Aeromyth.
The best Aerosmith cover band out there. And I saw Aeromyth live once in Missoula, Montana.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody threw a beer can at him. And this is not a fake story. I literally saw his dignity leave his eyes as he just didn't miss a beat while singing after that beer can ricocheted off his shoulders.
Yeah, you got to be careful with cover bands, because if it's the wrong band, then people aren't... and what I mean by that is okay, so nobody wants to see a Nickelback cover band, right? But also, if you're a Queen cover band, it's okay, you should probably just stop now because you'll never be able to achieve that.
So back in my musical days, I opened for a band from Canada named Down Here, and this is where the fact checkers can come into play. A band named Down Here, they were a Canadian band, and they didn't have a lead singer. They had two lead singers, and one of the lead singers, Mark Martel, went on to try out for a competition to be the frontman of a Queen cover band, and he made it. He not only looks like Freddie Mercury, but he sounds exactly like him, and then he performed on American Idol with the Queen Extravaganza is what they're called, and he made it, and so look up Mark Martel on YouTube. He's amazing.
Mark Martell on YouTube. Okay,
Yeah, forget all this
do that.
comedy business. Screw that. Like, find someone truly talented.
So Andrew Rivers, headliner. Do you know him? Have you?
I've met him a few times, yeah.
Yeah?
We've worked together a couple times before. Super nice guy, really funny.
His style of comedy, what would you say? Like
My style of comedy or his?
His style of
Oh,
comedy.
his style? It's definitely like the good kind of self-deprecating. Because you gotta... No, and he'll probably bring it up because, like, he definitely, like, gets into the self-deprecating stuff, but he's, like, not too hard on himself about it. And he, like... His mannerisms and the way, like, he inflects his voice when he does some of his jokes, I think, like, he's perfected that. Like, a normal, like, self-deprecating comic is like, I drive a big truck because I don't have a big wiener. Wah, wah, wah. You know, but, like, Andrew, he's really got it down, you know, because he's a successful comedian, and you know that, like, he doesn't really believe that. And so I consider it an honor to perform with him. He's a good guy.
Seems like every time I talk to you, you're busy. You've got something in the works, and I mean, Philip just had his CD release, but you were like one of the featured comics during the last showcase early on, and then since then I've spotted you in random places, and then you've kind of built up steam where you're like a more featured comic the last couple of months. Is that just more available time for you, or
I think it's it just says a lot about other Spokane comics that they've just given up, maybe, and I haven't yet.
You're like, I am ready and available.
But I have been, like, turning down the free shows, and I'm like, if I'm not gonna make at least gas money because I live out in Idaho, if I'm not gonna make at least gas money, that's, you know, it's just I'm losing money.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and so I think I've really, like, kind of perfected my 20-25 minute spots, and you know, there's a few other Spokane comedians who have really good feature sets. You know, I'm not like anything special, but I think just like getting to know different people and different people I put on shows, and like I'm willing to kiss ass. I don't care. Like some people are like, that's below me. I'm not gonna kiss that. Like I'll kiss ass. I don't give a shit. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on this or not.
Oh, fire away! This is
okay.
This is the pop culture entertainment one.
Butthole.
For the last time we talked, brought up the fact that you're kind of military brat, and I said is a USO show kind of a thing that you're aspiring to be. But since then, we've had holidays like the 4th of July, Veterans Day, and then of course we'll have Memorial Day. Now, were there any sort of opportunities specifically for someone like you for those? Because I know we have a lot of festivals, things like that in the summertime.
Summertime is a really hard time for comedy because people want to be outside to enjoy the smoke. They don't want to have to listen to somebody tell jokes. Like bands are huge in the summer because you don't really have to pay attention. And so if you don't pay attention to a comedian, like it doesn't work out because then you miss the jokes. So like a band can be playing on in the background, but like I didn't really try to get on any of the special. The summer is always busy for me with the military, doing lots of training and long hours, late hours, and so now like I'm actually going to be out of the military in 10 days.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so now and then it's starting to come more into the fall season. I can pick up more steam and do more stuff. I do want to do like a Memorial Day show. We're going to be, me and Harry J. Riley are going to be out at the Air Force Base the last Tuesday of this month, just trying to promote the club. Not necessarily doing a show, but I know the club wants to get more involved with the Air Force Base, both here and the one in the JBLM, the one over in the Seattle area.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. I mean, providing entertainment.
Yeah, the troops, because troops will pay attention, like they get told to. And so, yeah, I love performing for troops.
Well, that's great to hear, and I know you're talking about bands and how they can kind of play outside and they can be the background music. You don't want a comedian standing out, on a street corner while there's a festival going on in 108 degrees, sweating it out while he's trying to tell jokes and be funny. Yeah. So I understand that part. But as far as being out of the military in 10 days, first order of business, is it to grow a beard? Because I feel like that's like a must-do.
I'm not a beard guy. I don't. I like this 5-day shadow is like the most I'm ever gonna have. I don't like beards. They're scratchy. Like I like the feeling of a clean shaven face, and it's like the second thing I do in the morning is shave, and it's like ritualistic, and I like it. I enjoy it. And so
that reminded me of your Facebook post from the other day about morning rituals. It's a special talent to be funny even when you're not like trying to be funny, because some people can read text and take it completely different, but you seem to have a natural knack for the giggles online too,
it's just when you grow up, always seeking your parents' attention, you kind of figure some things out.
All right, well, hey man, have a good time being one of the features tonight. Go ahead and send up Phil. I am looking forward to some more entertaining Folger Emerson comedy.
All right, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. And again, we are at the Buzz. Get ready for Mark Morris Monday.
All right, hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Mr. Rivers?
Nice to see you.
Hi, this is Richard. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing good. So, first time meeting each other, and of course, I'm going to grill you with some questions here.
Okay.
First, of course, what inspired you to get into comedy?
I think I knew I wanted to be in entertainment. I just didn't know the right vehicle. When I was 21, I went to Art Institute of Seattle, so I went to art school for video production, and when I was 21, I graduated from the art school, and I started my own company. But when you're 21, you're not able to be like self-employed, because you're like, let me just try to bang girls every night and get drunk, instead of like, how do I invest in my own future? You know,
the American dream before the American
Absolutely.
dream, right?
And so, I did that for a while, and then I got a job at a marketing agency, and I worked there for like a year as an intern, and they gave me a couple promotions. And I just wasn't happy. I had a moment where I was at my desk, and it was like a beautiful sunny day, and I was looking out the window, and I was like, I don't want to sit at this computer my whole life. And then they laid me off like 2 weeks later, and I was like, wow. Oh no, somebody heard that. I'll totally sit here for another couple weeks. Because I spent my last paycheck on rims, like, I don't know, I was just an idiot. I was 23 at that time.
Yeah.
And
you don't got responsibilities quite yet.
So I don't know what a savings account is. I mean, so I ended up giving a speech at my brother's wedding, and everyone was like, you should be a comedian. And I was like, bah, whatever. But then I got laid off, and I thought, well, like, I don't know, let me try this, because after I got laid off, I applied for other jobs, but it was the middle of this recession that this was happening 10 years ago, 2008, so there were no other jobs, and I had an interview at a competing marketing agency, and it was like a bigger agency. I did a phone interview. The guy was like, this will be like 10 minutes. We were on the phone for like 40 minutes. I was crushing this interview. At the end of the interview, he goes, how much money do you want to make? And I go, well, a trick my dad taught me is I was making 30, but I told him I was making 35 so that he would say, well, we can only afford to pay you 30, or like, we can only afford to pay you 31 or 32 a year, and then I just got a raise, So I go, well, I was making 35, and I'd love to stay in that area. And he goes, that's pretty good. I think we can give you a little bump on that. And I was like, absolutely. Like, these guys are idiots, He goes, I think you're the best guy for the job. We just want to have you in to talk and meet everybody. And I'm like, sounds good. Do I need to bring my resume or anything? He's like, no, we got it. Don't bother
bring your
printing
personality.
it out. Yeah. Show up for the interview. I'm sitting in the lobby for like an hour. Like, no one has come out to get me for my interview. You check in with the receptionist, like, I'm here for the thing. They're like, cool, just have a seat. Someone will be with you in 10 minutes. It's been an hour. So finally this girl comes out, she goes, I'm so sorry. The guy who was supposed to interview you had a family emergency, so I'm going to do the interview. And I'm like, okay. So we, walk back to this room, and she's like, so do you have, your resume and everything? And I'm like, no, I swear he told me I should have brought it. I'm an idiot.
That's so great.
And then it's weird because I'm all about a person's vibe. So, she's a little unsure of what to even ask me because she wasn't planning on doing this. And I'm reading her energy, so I'm nervous now. So the end of the video, it goes okay, as we're both kind of fumbling through it. And the end of the interview, she goes, hey, is your brother Keith? And I go, yeah, my brother. And she goes, yeah, I haven't talked to him in a long time. How's he doing? I'm like, oh, he's great. He just got married, and that's super cool. He's so happy. Everything's great. And she's like, great. Tell him I said hi. Haven't heard from him in a long time. I'm like, okay. I get out of the interview. I'm like, that could be cool. Maybe that's an in. So I call my brother, and I'm like, hey, this girl said hi, and he goes, yeah, you're not getting the job. It's like a girl he had a one-night stand with like 5 years ago and just never called back.
Oh, wow.
And fate just happened to have it that was the person that, for all the things to go wrong,
it had to be that one thing.
To this, the number of things that have to go, like, to get the interview, and then the person has an emergency, and then they pick her, and it's that number of coincidence, and it's just a girl that my brother hooked up with, and she's like, how's your brother? I'm like, he's great, he just got married, he's so happy, they're so in love, and she's like, well, fuck this, I'm not giving him a job.
Oh, but see, that's not fair.
Yeah, but I just felt like after telling that story, I was like, this is literally so funny that I needed, like, as I'm telling people that story, they're just like, this is fucking hilarious.
I will agree, yes.
And so I thought, like, I don't know, maybe I'll, like, do some stand-up, because people thought I was funny at the wedding or whatever.
Yeah. So you're seeing all the signs.
Like, yeah, I just thought, like, I'll just kill some time.
I
didn't know you could, like, make money at it. I didn't know, like, people did that. Your guidance counselor doesn't sit you down, like,
so if you want to do comedy,
yeah,
you got to not take this serious.
So I just went to an open mic one night and, like, just signed up. And
did you feel comfortable on the first open mic, or was it, like, I had to get used to it?
I was very shy growing up, and I still am in some ways, but I was the person that anyone would think would do comedy. So, I mean, it took me a long time to really get comfortable on. So I was always like a rocker. I would rock back and forth and kind of like shift from my.
You got your go-to motion.
Yeah.
There you
and
are.
So
I
was nervous, and so I remember I kept forgetting some of the jokes, but like people were laughing, but they were like. And this is the thing people tell you about, like, how to find your voice, and it's like, they weren't really laughing at what I was saying. They were just kind of laughing at me.
Your behavior
saying
and mannerisms.
And being goofy, and, like, and I'd forget a thing, and then they'd laugh.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize it at the time, but what I was trying to do for comedy was non-authentic, which everyone is when they start. But they were laughing at me authentically. And so I remember being like, if I just, like, I was like the second funniest person on this open mic, and if I can just, like, not shake, then I can do this, And so then there was like a bunch of miserable nights in a row after that where, there was like 10 people at an open mic, because it was a big crowd that night. It was like, 100 people or whatever. And, like 20 of my friends. But then they stopped coming after. They're not coming every night,
So yours
you
wasn't.
Just show up, and then it's like, okay, back to performing for 10 people. Let's see if these jokes work.
So yours wasn't so much of like it happened one night. You were at an open mic, and it was all downhill from there. Yours was kind of like it felt like life was pushing you down a certain avenue, which that's crazy because there's certain things that are, I guess, more subtle than that in life as far as trying to lead you in a direction. Yeah. Yours was like, no, you need to do this.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, and I'm pretty, I would like to think I'm pretty in tune with nature or whatever, the universe.
The universe.
And the ethos pushing you. Like, I used to, like, joke around that, like, sometimes if I'm, like, I was, like, trying to whore around or whatever, and I would, like, if I, like, couldn't get it up, because, it's, like, 3 a.m., and I had to drink just to get the confidence to talk to this girl or whatever, and then I would, like, not be able to get my dick hard, and then I'd be like, well, that's just the universe telling me that I probably shouldn't sleep with this girl anyway. I still want to, but...
Or is it saying you need to try
or
harder?
Or maybe, I don't know, you know what?
Those are the crossroads you come to in life,
so,
where you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah,
I feel like it's one way, but it could be the other.
That's the thing is, we all learn from those mistakes where you're like, oh, that was a bad idea. The universe was saying the opposite thing, but I'm not dead from AIDS yet, so I think that I read into that correctly, maybe. But
hey, fair enough.
Came close a few times. You know?
So from start to finish, from what 23 you said when
Yes,
everything
23.
kind of sparked
Yep.
to now not
years,
to
33,
tonight,
yeah.
but to when you were starting to get your own features and
Sure,
specials.
yeah.
Like, how long was that journey?
I mean, after a couple years, I filmed a thing for Fox, but it was like a small TV show that no one really watched.
It's a start still,
Yeah, but
though,
it's just
you know?
like, but those are important because those are, you need to put yourself in fake high pressure situations. Like the things that you think matter, but really don't in the long run. But they matter right now.
Yeah.
And because then that prepares you for the future when other things actually do kind of matter. And then even then, those don't really matter in the long run, you know. So I did a couple tapings for Fox, and then I did a local show called The 206 and Up Late Northwest, which is like an almost live sort of knockoff. And then last year, they were filming these clean comedy specials in Provo, Utah. And someone sent me a message like, you gotta check these out, they're great. And I was like, okay.
The Dry Bar comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
this
love
is for
those.
Dry Bar. And so I sent them a message, and they called me up, and they're like, you gotta be as clean as you've ever been in your life. And I was like, well, I don't know about all that. Like, that sounds crazy. And so I just passed. I go, you know what, I don't think I can do that, you know? And then some of my friends signed up for it and filmed it. And not that they're worse comedians than me, but I just thought, like, well, if they can do it,
There
I
are.
can,
You can say
I can
there are.
clean it
Yeah.
up.
There's
I-
worse
you know,
comedians than
yeah,
everybody.
well, they are. They're terrible. But no, they're just like buddies that I would consider at my level, and so I thought, like, well, it's a good paying gig, and it'll be a good tape. I didn't know it was going to get millions of hits. I would have been way more nervous for it. I was still pretty nervous just because I was like, I don't even know, like, you know, because I was also like on the fly, like switching jokes around because they don't want you to say screw. They don't want you to like. I got flagged 3 times because I said screw, and even now, like, they put out these clips. And my newest one that just came out yesterday is at like 500,000 views in a day. And like, I like to read the comments, and someone was like, "You shouldn't be allowed to say idiot. How can you get away with this?"
Oh, wow.
And it's like, I guess. But he spelled idiot with like a number 1, a D, a 0, and a T.
So even
like,
he was trying
but
to
he was
keep
like
it
trying
clean.
to. But I'm like, what are you're still spelling that word out? Like, I don't understand. It's fine, but it's just goofy. My friend called me the Mormon Anthony Jeselnik because I'm just like offending so many people. Because I had a joke about fake service dogs and like chihuahuas.
But you know how to smile. Jeselnik doesn't. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that man
he
smile.
does like a smirk. He's real subtle with it, and now he's known for that.
Yeah.
So you can kind of like, people show up on purpose for that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I'm not even trying to be mean. I think like it's funny. Like 98% of the comments are all positive, but like.
There's
The
like that
2%,
one, you
I'm
know?
always like, what are you guys so... I just don't understand why
They're waiting for their moment behind the
don't,
keyboard, you know?
Because like in this new one, I talk about my friend lives in Spokane and gave me a tour of his bomb shelter. And I'm like, yeah, I go to his house and there's all these automatic weapons. And people are like, automatic weapons? You have to have a special permit. So they were likely semi-automatic. And I'm like, you think a guy with a bomb shelter follows all the rules? Also, I don't know. Who cares? It's just a joke. Would it make you feel better if I said semi-automatic weapons? Is that really going to change? Is that what ruined the joke for you? I don't understand.
People are too sensitive.
The way that people interact with it is so absurd to me. And it's only like 2% of people that don't like it, but I focus. So the best way to get my attention is just to leave mean comments, and I'll focus on it for hours. A compliment, I'll be like, great, everyone loves it.
Thanks for that.
Of course they do.
I'm
But
not
the
going to
mean
argue
people-
with you.
Yeah, the mean people. Someone was like, Oh, man. It was a really good one. Someone was like, let's see if I can stall long enough to look up what they said.
Well, Mark is giving me the stink eye over there,
yeah?
so
Well,
it might be time. Is it time, Mark? Is it time to get this thing rolling? Okay. Is Phil going to come say hi?
Okay,
Yeah.
he said, typical liberal relies on other people to take care of his safety. Hashtag lazy liberal. Because the joke is about, like, yeah, he has a bomb shelter, so I'm good. Like, I'm allowed in his shelter when shit goes down. And so I was like, you can call it lazy, I call it efficient. Not everyone can be a prepper. I've got to tour the world and make people laugh, right? Like, not everyone has time to comment stupid things on comedy videos, but you're doing it for the rest of the people.
Well done.
And
well
so,
done.
like, that got, like, 40 likes, and his comment had, like, 10 likes. I'm like, yeah, suck a dick, you know? Like, so, you know.
Well,
that's
hey,
just what I'm doing.
looking forward to it tonight. I always look forward to new comics, new comedy.
It's going to be a great show here with, like, 6 people.
I think there's 7. I think
count-
one's in the bathroom.
And there is a pregnant woman, so that counts for
Yes, 7.5 now.
So yeah, just AndrewJRivers.com is all my stuff. If you want to
AndrewJRivers.com.
track me down, Andrew J. Rivers on Instagram or
Dry
Facebook
Bar Comedy.
or Adult Friend Finder, whatever service that people want to find me on.
FarmersOnly.com.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the
Absolutely.
new one.
It's
That's on the
one that's
rise.
big in Spokane,
Yeah, it's on
you
the
know?
rise, man.
People know
well,
that.
Hey,
Hey, thanks for having
pleasure. Yeah, have a good show. All right,
Phil.
now we're gonna have Phil come and say hello. No, it's all good though. What's
Hi.
up, man?
How are you?
Good.
Long time no talk.
I know. Oh, so the first time that I ever saw your comedy, you were a host. I think we've talked about it before. It was for Jay Chandrasekhar, and tonight you're hosting. So it's like we've come full circle in the time that we've known each other.
Yeah, Jay Chandrasekhar. I will never forget his name because he came up to me beforehand and was like, okay, it's Sean Car. And he wrote it out phonetically, and I'm like, dude, I do the same thing. I got a crazy last name, Kopczynski. And he's like, okay,
man,
you get it.
Respect. I got it.
Yeah. So I go on stage, I do my set, and then I'm like, give it up for Jay, and I realized I had totally forgot. So I'm like, give it up for Jay! And I was trying to get people to cheer, because then I was like, Chagabadeba! Chagabadeba!
Wow.
And he afterwards, he's like, hey, man, it's Sean. Say.
But, you know, it's the moments like that where as long as you can laugh at him now, like, it's not like he's blowing up, you know, your Twitter feed being just, like, still screwing up people's last names. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you don't want that. You don't
No,
want that
he's
kind of
got
a relationship.
He's got a life, man.
He's got a
He's
lot.
not going to go to my Twitter feed.
Last year they couldn't. They had no...
Yeah, dude. I mean, he hosted. I mean, he directed Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
So he's got stuff going on, and I've got Buzz Pizzeria. I mean, so you know, I got stuff too. I mean, I think I'm gonna get a slice. Well, if Andrew doesn't eat it all, but
He's working on it right
there's-
now.
Yeah, there's things that are in store for me here that are pretty big deal.
Last time we talked, you had the CD release coming up.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we had you on the show to talk specifically about that. How'd
Yeah.
it go? Everything go
Oh
well?
yeah, CD
you know?
went well. Hillbilly Glamorous. It's available for download. That's the name of the album. Yeah.
I still love that name so much.
Yeah, so yeah, it's on my album for digital download. I got some CDs just because, you know, I like it when people go retro.
Yeah, the hard copy, man.
Yeah,
That's what it's about.
Yeah, I sell a couple at live shows. I don't.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgia. I actually have a. It's funny. I funded that album with a T-shirt sale, where you got the T-shirt and it says, "I don't quit when I'm tired. I quit when I'm done." And then you flip it up, and inside the shirt it says, "This shirt is about giving head." And yeah, so it does okay, right? And it funded the album. It shows I sold it, and I put it online to sell, and I got a cool little ad and stuff. Took out an ad on Instagram, and within like 30 minutes, they pulled the ad because it violated community standards.
Okay, so I see comedians' videos get pulled so much for violating community standards, and it's just like, does there need to be like, what's the not the X-rated version of YouTube, but there's like a version of YouTube where you can be uncensored and whatever. It's like, why do they need to do that with Instagram? Because I feel like it's just ridiculous.
Well, I think Instagram's really careful about it because they're just photos. So there's a lot of people that would be like, hey, look at my giant boobs. Come to my profile for some other stuff. I mean, I saw a profile the other day. It was just burgers and boobs, and you go to it, and it's one woman, and she's like puts her hands over all her boobs, and then pictures of hamburgers. Not her holding hamburgers, just giant hamburgers, giant boobs. That's it. Kind of alternates.
Have you tapped into the skills of Mr. Michael Glatzmeyer to do a jingle for you in your shirts? Because he did that for Mr. Riley, and it seemed to go pretty well for him.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that. Oh, dude, I should. Well, he'll charge now. He's on Fiverr.
I know.
Charging people for jingles.
It's crying shame. There's no friends and family discount anymore.
He'll do it for me. Yeah, man, the CD went good. It's all on there, and now I'm just opening for Andrew Rivers and I last week. I didn't listen to your conversation, but did he tell you last week we did the San Juan County Fair?
No, he was talking about like his long story about how he even got into comedy. We hadn't even gotten around to like recent events.
Oh yeah, last week I was in Seattle area, and I lost a gig to a Elvis impersonator. And then out of the blue, Andrew calls.
That's gotta be rough.
Yeah. So Andrew calls. He's like, "Hey, you want to go to the San Juan County Fair?" I'm like, "That sounds terrible." He's like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be absolutely terrible." Giant stage, raised, and beer gardens 50 feet away. There's benches that are empty. It's all ages. We followed a chicken race at a skate park.
That is so awesome.
Everybody's going bonkers. Just the chickens are totally confused. They're looking around. They don't know. People are just throwing feed at the bottom of the ramp. They're like, come on! Some guy's like, lift the ramp up so it makes them walk. It was just chaos. And we're like, and then a lot of people started kind of leaving after that. And so the producer of the fair, I guess, was like, oh, let's get DJ Super Sup and the Seagulls back up on the stage. Maybe they'll get some more people to come out here. So DJ Super Sup, who's the Seahawks DJ, is like, and he's like, he's doing all this techno, and then at one point he's like, put a finger up for Aretha Franklin, y'all! Give it up, R.I.P. for the diva herself! And then he starts like mixing the song R.E.S.P. He's like R.E.S.P. R.E.S.P. And then there's people are going bananas for it though.
I would have thrown stuff. I would have been that guy to throw like tomatoes, chickens, whatever's near me. Just grab it and throw. Boo this man! Boo this man!
Oh, there was a lady who was waiting for him to do it. She was like a hot mom in like yoga pants who's like out there twerking with her finger in the air, just like R.I.P. And she's out there twerking. There's a kid in a banana costume dancing around. There's people with babies in each arm dancing around. The people in the beer garden are losing their minds. And then the guy's like hip hop horn, just like ooh, 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 give it up for comedy. And I looked at Andrew and I'm like, yo, dude, this is chaos. Like, how am I supposed? What am I supposed to do? And he's like, that's why I want you to go first. But it went okay. I just had to spend.
You made it out alive, obviously.
But I had to spend about 4 minutes letting them know that there's a comedy show at the fair.
Well, you got a story out of it now. Now, Folger was telling me that for comedy, it's a little slow during the summer because you guys aren't like a band that can go and perform outdoors in a pavilion and be the background noise. So that being said, since we're approaching fall, do you have anything down the pipe for the fall season? I mean, in Spokane, it's like once it starts, it doesn't stop. For 8 months, and then we have to wait for it to be like 90 again. So.
Yeah. No, October is really busy. September, I have. Spokane Comedy Club, and then I'm actually in the World Series of Comedy. I made it to the finals. I won a satellite in Indiana, and so then I'll go to the World Series of Comedy in it's like in Indiana. It's in Florence, Indiana. It's at a big casino there. They get industry from the East Coast, so I go there. If I win that, then I get into like 50 clubs or something like that. So that's a big deal if you win, but there's like 100 comics that make it to the finals. So it's comics from all over the country to go. So I'll do that at the end of September, and then I'm with Andrew in the Spokane Comedy Club, and then in October, I think. I'm going with him again to Grants Pass and I'm going all over Wisconsin. I can't think of where else. But, yeah, man. And then, do you have any listeners in Walla Walla?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Well, Walla Walla listener, Thursday, October 25th, I'm headlining a show down there at the Marriott. So, yeah, come down to that. That's the big one.
Hotel show, yeah.
Yeah, well, hotel shows are great because, I don't know, it's better, like, bar shows.
You can drink, laugh, and stumble right back to your room. There's no Uber involved, no middleman. That's smart.
It is nice. You don't know Uber, no DUI. So I do like hotel shows, and it's just the crowds are like invested in it. They're making a night of it, but they're still like rowdy enough to where it's fun. Bar shows, sometimes you're like a little too rowdy, or like looking around like, am I going to die, dude, if I say the wrong thing?
I wonder if you could get a DUI if you hijacked one of those baggage carts at hotels and you were riding that around trying to find your room after you had a bender at the hotel lobby.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if that guy who stole that plane is going to get some kind of DUI. I mean, are they going to test his body like as a post-autopsy DUI for the plane hijacker?
Just the fact that somebody can just be like, I'm going to fly this plane.
I love that, dude. You know how many lives that guy probably saved? Because they're going to tighten up security, and then also there's a lot of people who are like, I can't do suicide better than that. So
tighten up security. Like, I need to be fondled more when I go to the airport.
No, they're going to tighten it up for the people running the mechanics.
God, maybe
they won't leave the keys on the dash or whatever.
Maybe my bag won't get tossed so hard anymore. Then that'd be nice. It'd be like, are you throwing that for some reason? Like, are you mad at your job where you're going to check a plane? I'm okay with that. If they want to tighten that up.
But yeah, check me out, philipcoppcomedy.com. Comedy with Friends on Facebook. Yeah, if anybody's out there and they want to see if I'm performing somewhere, check it out. Check out some of my stuff. If you like it, come out to a show. That's
October, big month for Mr. Philip Kopczynski.
Yes, sir.
And appreciate you coming back, man.
Hey, always a pleasure, man.
Yeah. And Mark, final words? We got Mr. Morris coming back for more.
Oh, yeah, all kinds of excitement. Are we having a good time yet?
Oh, I'm always having a good time.
How'd the guys do?
They did great.
Did they speak in full sentences this time?
Full sentences, run-on sentences. I got all of the life story of Mr. Andrew Rivers, so that'll be some great
he's
listening.
like 12. That couldn't have taken long. There's if you add all of their ages together, they're only slightly older than I am, so it works out.
I think Phil's story about the state fair that him and Andrew did a couple of weeks ago in San Juan was epic. Just
I'm going to have to ask him about that story or just listen to the podcast, aren't I?
Yeah, you can always listen back. But, Mark, I'm excited for a different kind of Mark Morris Monday, and I owe you now for that one again. I think I've said it like 4 times. So
and I'm going to collect because I could use the money.
Put it on my tab, charge me later. We're at the Buzz Pizzeria, the 3rd Monday of every month. Mark, have a good time. Enjoy. Are you touching the mic at all tonight, or is it all
yeah,
Phil?
No, I'm going to do a couple of minutes up front, and then we're going to get the really, really talented guys up there.
MarkMorrisComedy.com and check him out on Facebook. You can like the page, you can follow him, but I tag him and all of his featured comedians and all the stuff here from the Fan Show. So if you guys are liking what you're hearing, you're going to like a lot more from Mr. Mark Morris and the rest of the gang. So enjoy another Mark Morris Monday at the Buzz Pizzeria.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for this edition of The Fan Show for pop culture and entertainment's first maiden voyage at Buzz Pizzeria. Until next time, best of luck to you and yours. Go Niners, and it's all fun and games until you butt fumble. Good night, folks.